Hi everyone! I wanted to share with you a video that I've been meaning to make for a little while now, and it is a punches video. So I basically just wanted to show you some of the punches that I have that will give you a bit of a sense of what's out there. There are a ton of punches. This is the one I especially want to show you techniques on because before I bought this one, and this is the Fiskars 3-in-1 punch. So you can see on the underside there that there are 3 different patterns, and this one can be a little bit tricky to work with. And I mentioned in a previous video that basically before I went and got this one on Amazon, if you ever go into the reviews section, you can get a lot of questions answered, and you can also see what other people have answered. So this one I knew was going to be not the easiest tool to work with, but workable. So I'll start with this one. And in case you want to look for this one in the store, I've seen it at both Michael's and Joann's. They may have it at Hobby Lobby too, and of course you can find it online, but it is the Fiskars punch, and it's called Lace. So I'm going to show you the best way to work with this punch is the same with a lot of punches, which is you want to flip it upside down, and there's a place where it will let you stop your paper, and this is the tricky part because you want to start to clamp down on the paper. Okay, so you're holding the paper in place, and if it starts to wiggle around a little bit, just readjust it and then give it a really good squeeze and you'll have a nice, let's see how well that can show up. You'll get a nice corner. Just as an example though, if I were to try to use this design and I start to feed my paper in there, I don't really know what I'm going to get because I can't make sure that it's all lined up. And I will show you what I do get by doing this, and maybe I'll be happily surprised, but I'll just tell you through my own trial and error that the best way is upside down. Okay, so as you can see, it cuts off 2 out of the 3 teardrops, so definitely better to flip it over. Like I said, it's not always the easiest tool or the most reliable, but I would say 3 out of 4 times I'm pretty happy with the results. And usually if it comes out wonky, I end up just covering that up with something, maybe some washi tape or something like that. As to whether or not I would buy this again, I would. They have some other styles. There's one called Romantique that I really want, and there's one called something like sea beads or sea foam or something that has also 3 different designs. I would buy the other 2 just because I feel like the payoff is worth it. Okay, so next up I just want to show you a couple of standard punches. And by the way, I'm using the Tim Holtz Distress cardstock, and this is the kind, it's by Coordinations, and it's the kind that if you emboss it, you can sand it, and there's a different color underneath, so you get some really cool effects. This is just one of my favorite cardstocks to work with. Next up, I just want to show you this little guy. These 2 punches I've had for quite a while, and these are just about 100% accuracy, so I'm really happy with both of these. This one is an EK Tools punch, and you can also flip it over so that you can line it up, like if you want to add a dot in a specific place. Okay, so what I did here was I just made a little dot right there. And as long as you flip it over and your lighting is good, you can line it up with your little dot and just punch it right out. And that is 1/8 of an inch wide, that little circle. So this is really handy, especially when I'm working with junk journals and I don't want like a regular size hole punch. I just want something smaller. And this one is by the Paper Studio. This is a Hobby Lobby brand. This one's probably my favorite out of the bunch, because it has this little reservoir underneath where you can not only see what you're doing, but it catches the paper for you. So it's just a neat and tidy little one inch circle punch, and you can do it either way with this one. You can either have it right side up, and you can also, if you needed it in a specific area, like if you were trying to cut out a specific pattern from a piece of cardstock, let's say from this one I want to line up some flowers, I can do that by kind of selecting, okay, what kind of flower do I want? So let's say I want that one in the center, and this is really great for jewelry making too, because you can cut out different 1 inch circles, and of course they come in different sizes, but 1 inch is a pretty common size to make, to put into the little bezels for jewelry, like for earrings, pendants, things like that. So these two, the EK Tools 1/8 inch punch and the Paper Studio 1 inch circle punch, I would give A+ on both of these. And you can see, I don't know if you can tell from the camera, but I've been using these for a while. They have ink on them, and they've never given me any trouble. So the next one I wanted to show you, and this one is also a learning curve, kind of like the Fiskars one, and I did read online that a lot of corner rounders can be a little tough to work with. So again, I'm going to go underneath, turn the punch over, and as you can see, let's see if I can line this up against something a little lighter. A lot of times what happens is you'll get the nice rounded part here, but then it'll look a little funky right here. So what I try to do with this one is, and it gives you some great markers on the inside where you can line up the paper. It's just, you see where the paper can hit these little metal slots right here, and that way it does give you something to brace it on and to give you like a sense of where your paper is. But if you're off by just a tiny bit, it's going to cause that little extra paper. And this one's a little better. It's at least evenly evenly dimpled on both sides. Let me take out another piece of this cardstock and see if I can get you a better result. There are a lot of rounders out there, and I actually didn't, at least in the reviews that I read, I didn't see any that had like 100% positive reviews. Most of them had the same issues. One thing I've noticed that is helpful is if I don't put the paper quite all the way in, I just leave, like, it's probably half a millimeter maybe that I'm leaving it from touching the ends. And then that will give you more of almost a squared off round. And one thing you can do is, if you really look carefully in there, you will be able to see how much paper is coming out on either side. And if it looks about even and you can't see much of the paper, that means that it should give you a pretty solid round. Now, some of the reviews that I read on Amazon especially, you know, a couple of the ladies on there had been doing wedding invitations, so they wanted those to look perfect, and so they were having a lot of frustration. And I don't know that it was even particularly this rounder. It was just something that I saw was a trend with rounders. If you can recommend a rounder, that would be great. Again, this is the Martha Stewart's rounder, and I can't wholeheartedly recommend this one. I like a lot of her products. This one is the one that I find the least reliable probably of these products. I'm still going to continue to use it, but be on the lookout for a different one. I think Marvy makes one that might have gotten some good reviews. But anyway, I hope you found this helpful, and hope it will help with your card crafting, junk journal making, any type of paper crafting really. And I hope to see you in the next video. If you found this video helpful or even just entertaining, I would love it if you would give it a like and subscribe if you haven't already. And I will see you in the next video. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.